Was the win over the Grizzlies too easy? And do the Celtics need more Neemias Queta? We're going to talk about that and more right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Yup. Beantown, be ever ready. It's the C's. Who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT. Karalis recap the madness every game, every practice. Primetime Depp and D White on the sideline. Raining Jays, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked On Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Your team's the Boston Celtics. I talk about them every Monday through Friday, plus bonus podcasts on the weekends when they play. So make sure you're subscribed. Get this show on any podcasting app, on YouTube. Get into the comment section. This show is free for everybody, so let's have some fun together. I'm John Karalis, beat writer for Boston Sports Journal. I've been covering the team for 20 years now. I've been doing this podcast for 10. I've written a couple of books. Thank you for making this podcast network, the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network, the number one sports podcast network in the world. All right, just slow it down. Execute, John. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. New customers, you bet $5, you get $300 in bonus bets. So sign up at FanDuel.com to get started. Later on, we'll talk about Jordan Walsh. Is this truly his emergence? I feel like we've been faked out by a few emergences. Is this the one that sticks? Second segment, Neemias Queta. Do the Celtics need more of him? I've been a pretty strong critic of his, but maybe they need more of him. But let's start with, is this win over the Grizzlies, was it too easy? Did it really tell us anything? Did we get anywhere with this? And to do that, we're going to get with Tom Westerholm, everybody. Hey.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
How's it going, Tom?
I'm good, man. I'm stoked to be here on the number one Celtics podcast.
I'm like the champ in Harlem Nights. Anybody old enough to remember that one? The stuttering champ from Harlem Nights?
Not this guy.
No.
I'm afraid.
Anybody over here? No. Okay.
The people who cheered knew.
I'm on a real run. Oh yeah. Okay. They got it. It's delayed audience reaction on that one, but they figured it out. They Googled it.
Right.
Trust me, it's a great reference from 30 years ago.
Nailed it.
I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll with just ancient references that nobody gets. So, Tom, the Boston Celtics beat the tar out of the Memphis Grizzlies. I hope the people listening could hear the air quotes because that really wasn't much of a team. I didn't care that it was a team that was so bad that we in the media were like, hey, anybody bring their sneakers? We might be able to get up a few points against these guys and make ourselves feel good.
Yeah.
What do you feel about how easy?
It's good that you guys still have your swagger after the after everything that happened before the season.
Listen, man, it's all you can do. It's like it's like the old wrestling jobbers. They used to go out and we'd lose every match, but you'd come out and talk into the mic and be like, Hulk Hogan, you're going down. And they come out and wax you. And then, that's weird. We're the jobbers. We're the Barry O's. Anybody on that one? No? Yes?
They Googled it. Good.
Right. Tom, what's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I think it. So here's the funny thing, right? It felt like the preseason, right, where we watched the Celtics just beat the crap out of teams that were clearly overmatched because they weren't playing anybody. The good news for the Celtics is that one counted. Like this one counted. You get to put this one in the standings and everything. Like it's right there. That's another victory. You're one step closer to 500 after that one. Like I think my biggest takeaway from that game is that like it was candy. You know, it doesn't really do anything for you. Doesn't have any real nutritional value. But you know what? I don't know, man. Like sometimes it's Halloween. Sometimes you go around and you get a bunch of candy and you just sometimes it's just nice to have some candy and like that's okay. You know,
Snickers, Milky Ways.
You know, like
and then I'll enjoy if you want them. Like
nice
just
Sour Patch Kids every once in a while. You know,
sometimes that's what you just need it. You need the reward.
Yeah,
you got a kid. Sometimes you need to dangle little piece of chocolate in front of the kid to be like, okay, I will do this thing that you need me to do. I'm like, okay, fine. Here's your piece of chocolate. Like the Celtics, I thought, look, a lot of these shots that the Celtics got, they were missing in prior games, regardless of who was out there. Those were shots that the Celtics were missing. So maybe the process of getting those shots was a little bit easier, but I'm just happy that those shots ended up falling. And if you need to get your confidence up against a bad team and be like, oh yes, I do remember I am in fact Derrick White. I am Payton Pritchard, not like some scrub that some people like bots are on Twitter telling, whatever. You just kind of need that reminder, that reward. So you're right. There's nothing really to take. Like when I talk about like, it was good to see them execute. Yeah, maybe against the, the better teams in the whole league, against good teams, they won't be executing as well. The passes will get tipped and whatever. But, just to see it, recognize it, complete it, just like, good. You did it. Nice. Let's just take it and move on and just focus on the Clippers now.
Yeah. And to that point, right, there's nothing wrong with getting bouncing back from a loss, getting a big old win, and then having a couple of days off to kind of be like, whew, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
That felt good. You go into a break, like feeling like, okay, all right, this is good. We can kind of regroup. We can take a look at where things are, get a better sense of who we want to play, like how we want to play, what's worked, what hasn't worked. Like it just, it feels a heck of a lot better to go into a little break here off a win. And I think it's nice too, right? Because it's not the kind of victory that like leaves you with this like false sense of overconfidence. Like, yeah, we're world beaters. It's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go into this break feeling good, and you get to re-examine some things. And I don't think that this team would lie to itself and trick itself into saying like, okay, yeah, like we've looked like a contender, in the early going, right? It's like, no, there's a lot of things that need fixing, a lot of, kind of areas that they need to pay a little bit more attention to, have a little bit more focus. Like all those things are true, but you get to kind of look at those with a more positive lens now. Like, okay, but we can do some of these things. And like, you just that little lens of positivity, I think is really important because like you said, we're talking about like Derrick White, Payton Pritchard. We've been talking all year about how they're just missing shots that it feels like they should probably be able to make. So you get to look at all these little things that you can do to improve yourself and have that little bit of confidence, have that little bit of like, yeah, no, I can breathe, I can shoot. It's okay.
So, you listen to Payton Pritchard talk about like, yeah, this morning I got my hair cut and it became a funny little thing, but there's actually something serious there in that in his mind, he needed something to change. And so, yeah, is a haircut anything? The haircut didn't do a damn thing.
Yes, it did. Look good, play good. Everybody knows this.
But when you're searching for things and you're like, look, I'm just going to get my hair cut. I'm going to do something different like that. And Derrick after the game was like, I tried just about everything. That's a sense of, I don't know if you want to go as far as desperation, but maybe where like they were 11, 12 games into this season. And like, it's still not, you don't feel like yourself. You don't feel like yourself. And that can be debilitating. If you let it go long enough, when you start to not be yourself in any sense, never mind just basketball, in any sense, everybody has that moment of like, wait a minute, I'm not feeling like myself. And you know how that it wears on you. Well, yeah. So that means the next time you miss an open shot, you just be like, oh, and that gives the other team just a slight opening. Those things compound themselves, and getting this performance against anybody, it could have been against the media team, getting this performance gets you that feeling of like, okay, I feel like myself again. If not for just one day, that feeling of normalcy is enough to make you feel good. Now you take that into 3 days of film and practice and shooting, and you can go through all the little, you get time to breathe and really examine everything. So I think that win was as important as any other win this season, just for that reason.
Yeah, it could be. It could also just be candy, but it could prove to be genuinely it could prove to be very helpful.
I think it's just really fancy candy. You know,
there you go.
Like it's the expensive candy. It's still candy, but it's like you put a lot into it. You got to really work to afford that candy. So
it's like maple sugar candy, like
the well,
I don't know any other
expensive candies. I can't I'm a man of the people, Tom. I don't have that kind of money to throw around. I'm just common man.
Yes.
Anyway, Neemias Queta. I don't know what's wrong. It is a Friday. This is a very Friday show. Neemias Queta. It's look. I still have my thing with him. I think there are things that he needs to improve greatly, but seeing the way they're playing and having gone through now 13 games and seeing what has worked and what hasn't, I think he and the Celtics both need to work together to figure out how to use him even more. And I'll explain that when I come back. Today's show is brought to you by Drip Drop. When I'm hydrating, everything just works better. My focus, my energy, my mood, even my beautiful, beautiful skin. That's why I've been using Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power, no matter what my day looks like. Drip Drop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands, using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top college and pro teams. Boy, you know what I'm going to do? I need a Drip Drop right now. And I've got my sugar-free watermelon. I'm going to put this in my drink. So my next few segments, they are going to be even better than what I'm doing now, because I like Drip Drop. It's part of my daily routine. And it goes, boop. You can see it on YouTube. It's going in. It'll dissolve during this ad read. Tastes great. The sugar-free watermelon is really, really good. The secret weapon for staying sharp or getting energized, whether it's after a workout. So when I go to the gym, I come out, one of these things of Drip Drop, one of these little packages gets me right very quickly. In the morning after, a weekend where you feel dehydrated, this really gets you right. So Drip Drop is offering you 20% off your first order. Check it out at dripdrop.com. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's dripdrop.com, promo code LOCKEDONNBA for 20% off. Stock up now before it runs out. Keep your body and mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. Today's show is also brought to you by Wayfair. Holiday season is around the corner. My wife came home with little light up Christmas trees already, which means it's time to get your house ready for guests. Thanksgiving guests, Christmas guests, other holidays that you might celebrate around this time. You can head on over to Wayfair for their Black Friday sale. It's here to help your space and make it shine. Best part, you don't have to wait. Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long with up to 70% off, from sofas to spatulas. We like to kind of mix things up every once in a while. I'll end up seeing my text messages start to light up from my wife. Wayfair links, and now I know it's time to rearrange a room. Whatever your price point is, they've got it for you. Whatever your style is, they've got something for you. Don't miss out on their Black Friday deals. Head over to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale for up to 70% off. That's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December 7th. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Check out Locked On NBA, Locked On NBA Game Night. They've got you covered. Game Night's got you covered 7 days a week for the every game in the association. Locked On NBA has your Monday through Friday big stories covered, all on the #1 sports podcast network on the planet. Tom, watching the Celtics run through Neemias Queta, I think Queta in the short roll is something that they're missing out on. for two reasons. Number one, the Celtics are missing him a lot of times on these rolls. Number two, he's not that great at stopping himself and making it a short roll. And when I say we need more from Nemi, I think they need to see him more, find him more, and hit him more, just so they can collapse the defense a little bit more easily, because I think he's seeing the game well enough where he's making enough good passes where I'm like, okay, you know what? I think his passing has gotten better this season, and I'm starting to be like, I kind of trust him to make the right decision, much like you started to trust Luke Cornett. But what he doesn't do, like Cornett did, is stop on a dime in the middle of the paint and make the right decision. He's too out of control. His body's moving forward too much. He got an offensive foul against the Sixers. He survived one early in the game. Celtics missed the shot, but he just needs to be more aware of the defense and control and more control of his body, something I say on every podcast, basically. But if he can do that and the Celtics can trust him in the short roll, then you can run an offense that gets it to him, that he passes to, then he now relocates, dunker spot, goes and sets another pick, all that other stuff. I think that can really free up a lot in their offense.
Yeah, I think the biggest Nemi takeaway this season has just been like, you can see all the work that they've done with him in terms of like developing and progressing sort of his basketball awareness. Like he just has such a, he does. He has such a better sense of how to, of what to do, how to move, where to be, all that stuff. Like it is significantly better. What you're not seeing, you're exactly right. We're not seeing him stop on a dime like Luke Cornett. We're also not seeing him kind of make the same types of reads that we used to see. They're similar, but we're not seeing the same type of stuff that we used to see from Robert Williams, right? Where Rob was a really good passer. Like that was something that kind of just went under the radar with him. I mean, he was such a when he was healthy, he was such a good player, man. He was really good. And like Nemi's not at that level yet, but I think that's what you're kind of hoping to at least draw the essence of, right? Is to get that level of that ability to kind of read things quickly, read things a little bit quicker than he is currently reading them, although it has improved. But just getting that level of awareness, that ability to get the ball out. I mean, I think, the other thing, and it sounds incredibly simple, right? But if you can find Nemi, like he shoots like 7 of 8 frequently. The shots that he scores are so easy, and he's just like, but that's not all. That's not to say that he's like doing nothing. The opposite, actually. He's very good at getting himself into positions where if you can find him, if you can get him the ball and he goes up to shoot, there is a probably greater than 70% chance that the ball is going to go in because it's, a layup, a dunk, what have you. It's all really easy stuff. So no, I agree that like there is a lot of value in trying to find him a little bit more. Not just because he's better awareness wise, but also just because like his shots are super easy and easy offense is good.
That easy offense is good.
Also this team has really a lot of their offense is really tough. Like they
do. So often against the good teams, they seem to work hard. Like I remember during the Rockets game, which is their biggest loss of the season, that was like everything the Rockets were doing seemed easy, and everything the Celtics were getting seemed like, oh my God, it's so much work. So I can see the Celtics, running a free-flowing kind of offense where it's just Nemi setting pick after pick after pick and rolling in a way that's almost a sacrificial cut more than a pick and roll. But against the good teams, it's going to be too much to ask Jaylen to always get by his man and Derrick to always get by his man. And you know what? Sometimes it's not always easy for Queta to get all the way down from the setting the pick all the way to the rim. So make that read if they're packing the paint, and teams seem to pack the paint a lot more. If they're packing the paint, get into that short roll and make a quick pass. Again, the Luke Cornett, limited kind of guy, but got the ball in that spot, quickly moved it, just so somebody can reverse the ball and move the defense. And hey, every once in a while you get a cutter from the corner, and if he can find that guy, then all of a sudden things get a little bit better. I think there is a huge opportunity here in Neemias' development, in this team's development, to get him into that spot, reading the defense and figuring out where the next pass goes. And even if you use him as a ball reverser, something like that can be valuable because then he can go and set that screen. He needs to be better at controlling his body on those short rolls, setting the screens. I don't know why he feels the need to crouch all the way down and look a guy in the eye. Like do that little crouch thing. Just stand there and set the screen. I don't know why he does that, but whatever.
They let you get away with so much more if you don't do that. Al Horford leaned so much and put his butt so far out into everybody's way. Like, they let you get away with way more if you don't, like, do your...
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And I think because every motion of his is just more exaggerated. And you can look at even guys like DeAndre Jordan, who's big, but go watch him play. He doesn't have his arms flailing around. He gets, even at his age, he sets, he spins, he moves. It's purposeful. He stops his momentum. That's where Queta has to get to. He has to get to that spot. But because he's doing what he's doing, sometimes he's slow getting onto those picks. And if he can just be quicker getting out of those picks, making the right reads, short rolls, making the right reads once he gets the ball, now you got a different story. Now you got a guy that you can lean on a lot more this season. And then who knows what next season is? Do you get a number one center and you can now have Queta as like an incredible number two? Because I think that's where this can go. I think Queta can be an incredible number two for the Celtics if he does all of these things.
Yeah.
So Jordan Walsh can be an incredible 3 or 4 for the Celtics. But is this emergence real? Is this one going to stick? We'll talk about that when we come back.
Yes.
Tom really wants to talk about that. Today's show is brought to you by DoorDash. We just had another 50-point scorer, and when you get a 50-point scorer in the NBA, DoorDash, the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, celebrates it by giving you 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and then they enter you for something called the Bag Drop. You can win the ultimate fan bag. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, stuff you actually want. So it's not just food. You can get snacks, drinks, headphones, ice, socks, all of it delivered through DoorDash and Dash Pass. So when somebody drops a 50-piece, you open up your DoorDash app. You got to have Dash Pass. You use a promo code NBA50. The next day, you'll get 50% off on your next order with that DoorDash with Dash Pass. Plus, you get a shot at the bag drop. This is available to Dash Pass members only. 50% off up to $10 the day after a 50-point game with that promo code. Terms do apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashInYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. We are now smack in the middle of the NBA season. We are in the middle of the NFL season. And I'm doing this as the Patriots are up 10 in the fourth quarter against the Jets. Hey, maybe you want to get in on a little live action at that point. Well, maybe by the time you hear this game will be over. But you could have, at the time I said it, you could do that with an NBA game. So whether you want to hop in midstream or maybe you want to do a same game parlay, you could do that. Keep every game exciting. especially when your team's making a late push. Right now, new customers, you get $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So make that first $5 bet a good one. When you win, you get $300 in bonus bets. When you sign up at FanDuel.com, when you sign up, it'll ask you to set a limit, set your budget, say yes, do that. In case you hit a cold streak, they'll help you. They'll stop you at your limit. And then when you can replenish your bank there. When you get paid again, only set what you can afford to lose. So have fun, gamble responsibly at FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Check out Locked On Fantasy Basketball next. Make that your second listen. Josh Lloyd has you covered. He's going to help you win your league by giving you all the inside info, who you should start, who you should bench, trading for people, all of that stuff. He's the best, and this is on the #1 sports podcasting network in the world. So check out Locked On Fantasy Basketball wherever you got this podcast. All right, Tom Westerholm, this segment was your idea. Jordan Walsh.
Yes.
We've done Baylor Shireman.
Mm-hmm.
We've done Josh Minott. We've done Hugo Gonzalez. Now it's Jordan Walsh's turn.
Yeah.
Is this going to stick? Is this a true emergence in your opinion? Or are we going to start, is the carousel going to come around again? And we'll be like, hey, Josh, your turn in the spotlight.
I think this one sticks. So I think that what we're seeing with Jordan Walsh right now is there is enough unique skill there that isn't, because one of the things with Josh Minott, right? Minott plays really hard and he has all the measurables. And I mean, I think he's definitely an NBA player. I think that he's going to stay in the NBA for a bit. Like, I think that this season is going to be really good for him, whether that's with the Celtics, whether that's with another team. We talked about that before. I think Josh Minott is for sure an NBA player and probably a fairly long, not till he's like 39, but I think he's like he's going to have a nice little NBA career.
Yeah.
I think what we're seeing with Jordan Walsh, but the thing about Minott is that his skills, right, are a little bit less specific. They're a little bit more kind of that generalized. This is a relatively talented wing with great measurables who plays really hard, all that stuff. With Jordan Walsh, there is a defensive presence that is like really specific. Like, this is a guy who you put on Tyrese Maxey and he makes Tyrese Maxey's life hell for like a really important part of the game. Maxey just can't do anything. Maxey, one of the best players in the NBA this season. And you just put Walsh on him and said, yeah, go dog him. And Jordan Walsh said, arf, arf. Like, I got it. You know what I mean? So
What'd he say?
Arf, arf is what I said.
Okay.
I said he was going to dog him, Yeah.
Arf, arf.
Yeah. Well, it's my knocked loose fans out there. You might have got the reference. All right.
Okay.
So cleaning the glass, right? Jordan Walsh, 116 possessions, real small sample size, but plus 20.6 in the on-off. That's 94th percentile, second best on the team behind, Queta. So, obviously the answer here is to only play Queta and Walsh.
Queta and Walsh.
Like, that's like the all-star team.
Where we've landed I think where we've landed is, do Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown support the combination of Neemias Queta and Jordan Walsh?
I think it's clear Jaylen Brown does not, because Jaylen Brown is minus 12.4. So get him off the team.
He's got to go.
He's got to go. It is the Walsh Queta show.
We need Jayson back to figure out if he fits with these guys, so we can if he needs to stay or go.
I guess Jaylen can stay until Tatum comes back. But I mean, it's clear. It's clear that this ship has sailed.
Yeah.
No, but I do think that like his defense is like an outlier enough that I'm like, I think that what we're seeing here is kind of an emergence. I do think that he's like, and I get that it's, again, very small sample size. You're 100% right that we've seen these guys cycle through, but this one feels different to me just because there is that skill that is so specific and is so helpful.
So I want that to be true. I want that to be true because I love the notion of a guy who was teetering on the edge, finding a way, getting this opportunity and making the most of it. Like, I would celebrate that, because as I've said multiple times already, I've been like this close to being like, all right, I guess you got to move on from Jordan Walsh.
I
Like,
also have been in that position. Yes.
In the preseason, was wondering if he would get cut
Yeah.
in an effort to like save money, open up a space and whatnot.
Yeah.
So now that, but look, so much of this, like, you need a little luck along the way. You need a little opportunity. If Jayson Tatum was healthy, maybe Jordan Walsh would have been cut.
Yeah.
And he could have hooked on somewhere else, and maybe it would have worked, or maybe it wouldn't, and maybe he would have gone overseas, or who knows? Who knows? But because of the second apron, which didn't exist when they drafted him, because of Jayson Tatum's injury, which obviously is a new thing, here he is. Like, whether we were overreacting or not, it's, you got no choice, right? Look, man, he's been getting DNPs. So now he gets this opportunity because he has to, because, you know, like, Josh did something. I don't know what it was. Or maybe it's just Joe being like, okay, we've gotten a little taste of Josh. Now let's get Jordan in that same situation. It very easily could just be, okay, we ran a week of Josh. Now we're going to run a week of Jordan, and we're just running a week of all of these different guys so we can get film on everybody and then figure out who made the most of it. That's also a thing that could be happening here. But if Jordan is the one that sticks, then great, because that is a success story.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need the threat of, hey, buddy, you might get cut here, to have somebody be like, oh, okay, I need to focus up. Not that he wasn't focused before, but that little bit of desperation. Like, if anybody's ever been close to getting into an accident and you all of a sudden, you just like, that laser focus like comes in, like, you kind of need that, like, okay, I need to really lock in. And maybe that's what Jordan needed. Josh is good enough too. Like, he's going to stick around too. I think he's going to be an important part of this too. So I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is real, but he's getting the opportunity, and right now he's making the most of it. I want to see it again. I want to see it more consistently. Obviously, I want to see it 5, 6, 7 more times. And if he's still this good, then great. I want to see it against better teams. You know, when the really good teams come in. Look, he did it against Tyrese Maxey, so that's a really good player. Yeah. He, went up against Jaren Jackson Jr. That's a big dude, and he kind of like was there toe-to-toe with him. So good starts. Keep it up. At this point, the only way to know that this is real for me is I need to see it, man. I've been like, I can't be riding this roller coaster anymore with these guys.
Very reasonable. I'm going to ride the Jordan Walsh one. I think I'm in. I'm in on this roller coaster. If it chucks me off, it chucks me off. But I think I really like what I'm seeing. So I'm going all in. I'm putting my eggs in this basket.
I don't blame you. And for people, if you're listening, if you're watching, and you want to do that too, go for it. Like, part of the fun is riding a roller coaster of a guy and being like all in. I have that computer chip has been disabled in me, and I only deal with like very Vulcan, reason and facts and like logic. I can't like just get on board. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that, because I kind of am starting to like the Hugo Gonzalez. I'm on that train. I am on that train, but I can't just irrationally be
Hugo Gonzalez. Let's take a look here. He's -1 on off. I hate to tell you that.
Those numbers can be wonky, Tom.
No, get him out.
Story.
Toss him out with Jaylen.
Story.
Both these guys gone.
Hey, Sacramento, you're hitting the reset button, man. Can we Jaylen and Ugo for DeMar DeRozan and some salary filler? Like, what do you got?
Listen, this team is taking way more long mid-range shots this season. I think DeMar DeRozan is clear, like he fits the system. You got to bring him in.
We got DeMar DeRozan. He wears number 7.
Hey, golly. He's never going to talk to you again.
Look, I mean that in the absolute most complimentary way possible. Jaylen is killing it in the mid-range. He's just joking. In fact, that's Jay King's joke because I forget what game it was. I sit next to Jay at the games now, and he said it was like a vintage DeMar DeRozan game where Jaylen was like just smoking in the mid-range. And so it's just funny. He's better. He's better. Everybody, he's better than DeMar DeRozan. It's just that the middies just kind of like make you think like, hey, man, midi master. Like
that's it.
Yeah. That's it. It's okay to be a mid-range master. I love it. All right. It's a Friday. We're done here. Tom.
Right.
Appreciate you, man. Oh man. I like just we're fun. It's goofy. We're here to have fun talking about the Boston Celtics, which we do 5 days a week after every game. Although, I got to say that I've been saying, look, I do post-game podcasts after every game, except next Friday when they play against Brooklyn, because I am missing that game for a wedding. So that's the one game I will miss. But generally speaking, I'm here for you Monday through Friday, plus bonus podcasts on the weekends when they play. If you subscribe, the show shows up on your favorite podcasting app. It is free. It's available there. It's available everywhere. It's available on YouTube. Get in the comment section. Share your thoughts with me. Yell at me. Scream at me. Agree with me. Whatever you want. Just do that and share the podcast. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast. Here on the Locked On Podcast Network, it's your team every day.